Hello everybody, this is Dan or Crazy Bad Bricks, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Technic cargo plane. This is set 42025, it's 1,297 pieces, and it's rated for 10 to 16 years old. Now before we go on to the review, I just want to mention in my last review, the LEGO Mini Cooper, that I had said that the actual LEGO build did not really represent the real Mini Cooper. That was my own ignorance speaking. It was pointed out to me that it is actually a representation of the old Mini Cooper from the 1960s. And after doing a bit of research, it kind of dawned on me maybe I should have done my research beforehand. So it is very accurate, extremely accurate actually. So I do apologize to you guys. And from now on, I will do my research to make sure that I know what I'm talking about in my reviews. With that said, let's move on. You can see on the back of the box that there is a lot of motorized functions, which is super cool. The motor actually takes 6 AA batteries, and they last for a long time. But there's a lot of motorized functions, and I can't wait to show you guys them. So let's get into the review. Alright, so this is the entire thing built. It is so big, I can barely even put it in frame. I don't even think I can get this entire thing in frame unless I was actually to angle it like this. Even then, it's a little bit difficult. But it is huge. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It's almost 2 feet by 2 feet. 2 feet wide by 2 feet long. It's really, really big. One thing that I don't really like, but I can tolerate with the Technic set is that the bags aren't numbered. They're actually just in regular bags. You have to actually lay everything out and then start building, which makes a long process to to put it together because you have to search for pieces and stuff. I did separate some things. You'll see in like the far corner that there was a couple of little boxes that I put like the black and the blue pieces in, stuff like that. But as far as everything else, it was sort of scattered around. But at least they sorted it pretty well in the bag. So in the pile, I can kind of remember like where pieces were, things like that. Anyways, that's the bag experience of this thing. Other than that though, the build was super fun. You can see in this time lapse that I am searching around a little bit, but at the same time, it didn't really matter because I was having so much fun doing this. Technic is awesome. It's super fun. After I did the LEGO Technic mining truck, this thing was just like so much fun for me because I'd never really done a lot of Technic, but now Technic is actually one of my favorite things to do. Anyways, guys, this thing has a lot of functions, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of this stuff. So this thing is powered. It takes batteries, it's got a motor and then gears and all that kind of stuff. And it's only got one motor box and one gearbox, and it runs on 6 AA batteries. And this right here is the switch where I move it back and forth to actually make it go one direction like this and then another direction like that. And it doesn't really do anything until you move these switches. So as you can see in this switch on the bottom one here, it does the landing gear and it also does the cockpit. And on this one here, it does the propellers and it also does the back ramp. And then we've also got this switch here, and I'll show you what that does. When you turn this thing, it actually moves the wings back, the part of the wings. And I believe on a real plane, that's where part of the brakes come from as well. It just creates a little bit more drag on the wind. And then on the right of this stuff here, we've got another one, and this can go this way and it can go forward and back. So what this one does is if you move it side to side, this is how the plane would turn. You can see that one side of the wing, part of it will go up and the other will go down. And then when you turn it to the other side, one part will go up and the other will go down as well. However, if you move it the other way, it actually moves the back, and this is what will make the plane either fly upwards or downwards, as well as obviously the thrust of the engines and some of the main wings and stuff like that. But this is part of it right here as well. So that's actually a multi-function tool, and I think it I don't know, I think it's really well designed. When I was actually putting this part together, I couldn't figure out how it was going to work. I was like, why would it go this way and this way? And I didn't realize that it was multi-function, so that's really cool that it did that. Now this thing has a lot of stickers. Looking from the left side to the right side of the wing, you can see it's stickered all the way across the front. The front of the propellers also have stickers on there, and so do the sides of the turbine engines that the propellers are put on. And you can also see on the side of both sides actually of the actual plane itself, it's got like little windows you can see and also little stuff around the front. It's even got a little bit on the back, but not a whole lot. On the back of the wing, it's also got some stickers that says no step, and it says this on all 4 of the little flaps that move on the actual wing. And of course we have stickers that show the power functions. I already showed you that. I really like the cockpit of this one as well. You can see it's got the 2 seats, it's got some steering stick, and it's also got stickers on the front that kind of show them their instrument dials and things like that. And across the front of the cockpit, we've got these bends, and the bendy pieces, the white and the black piece, they're actually bent. They're not shaped like that, they're straight, and you have to bend them like that. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do. So we've got some beacon lights too on the wings. This one's green on the right side wing, and then on the left side wing we have a red one, and on the tail of the plane we also have a red beacon. I like the landing gear setup as well. When I show you the power functions, you'll see how all of this moves. It's not just the wheels that move, but everything tucks up and tucks in really nice. And this thing has a lot of gears in it. You can see them all here, and this is only really half of them. There's some on the bottom as well. And there's a lot because there's a lot of movement in this thing. So let's go ahead and show you some of the power functions. So to control the propellers, I want to move this one all the way that way, and then when I come back, I can move this and the propellers turn on. And if I want, I can make them go the other way by just pushing it the other way. Now if I move the control stick the other way, it moves the cargo bay. So now when I turn the power on, the cargo bay opens up all the way to the floor, and it makes this clicking sound when it's done all the way, and it just kind of starts skipping its own gears. And you just turn it the other way to make it go all the way back up. Now we're going to raise the cockpit, so we want to move this one back to the center, and the cockpit is to the right with this one. So we move this all the way over there, and now we can raise the actual cockpit. So again, I go back to the power switch, and when I turn it one way, it raises up, and it'll start clicking, and then it's all the way up, and then I can move it back by just turning the switch the other way. Now I always let it click a couple of times because then I know that it's solid and it's actually in the right position. And now we're going to do the landing gear, and all we do there is we put it back to the middle and then move it over to this side. The landing gear is actually my favorite part of the entire motorized part because when I turn it, multiple things move. The wheels go up, and also those things come down to hide it, and then of course it clicks. And then to put it back, you just turn it the other way. So that's awesome. So in conclusion, I think the LEGO Technic plane is definitely worth the money. It's 1,297 pieces, and it was 140 Canadian dollars, so that comes to about 11 cents per piece, which is around average. Not only that though, it's got a second build. It's got a hovercraft, and I'm going to build that later on, and I'll also review that and do a time lapse of that as well. It took me about 4 hours or so to build this thing. I did a time lapse of it. I showed you a bit of that, but you can check out the full video in the annotation at the end of this video or by clicking in the description below. You can also follow me on Facebook and check out some of my newer builds and things like that, sneak peeks into my videos as well. So overall, I think the Technic LEGO cargo plane is super awesome. I do recommend it, and not only is it super cool, it's got a second build as well, using pretty much all the pieces, and I can't wait to do that. It's like a hovercraft, it looks super cool, and I really like that they can take one thing, take all those pieces, and build something else totally professionally, and you get twice as much building fun for your dollar, which is always good. I always try to get those types of sets. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on my next video.